Hello peoples. In today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a tutorial with an emphasis on dogfighting. Now 3.14 has changed a lot of different things. We now have to micromanage our power, we have to micromanage our weapons, we have to micromanage our shields, we have to micromanage basically everything that you can possibly think of that would be of value in a dogfight. So I decided that I would do a little tutorial here. This is going to be geared towards people that haven't done a whole lot of ship-to-ship fighting in either PvE or PvP environment, and just show you what I do. This is my take on it. This is my spin on it. This works for me. All the different things that you have to manage in 3.14 in order to basically have a good dogfighting experience. So as usual, kick back, relax, get yourself a beverage, a snack, and let's see how we do. Now let's talk about setup. I set up my cockpit the same in every ship that I'm in. Some ships have more MFDs than others, but that's okay. I'm going to put all my weapons in the same group because I'm using an Omni build. I'm going to put my target indicator in the upper right MFD, my power indicator in the upper left MFD, and my shield indicator in the lower left MFD. It's the same all the time. I'm going to do a keybind so that I can quickly go from 100% to weapons, to shields, to engines. You need that keybind. Doesn't matter if you're playing with keyboard, mouse, joysticks, whatever. You don't have time to do it off the MFD. You have to have a keybind. Notice up here that I have my indicators for my signatures, which is IR, heat, and EM. Now, you can get the actual numerical value by going into your options, game settings, and changing the HUD to display the numerical value for those signatures, and you want that. Over here, I'm going to set up my missile operator mode. I'm going to pre-set up the number of missiles that I want to fire in my first engagement. So, for example, I'll just do 2. I'm going to change that back later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my speed indicator. So right here I'm going to put that up or down depending upon your own preference so that I can close in the distance fairly quickly, and you're going to see later on I'll actually have the speed indicator up, but I'll lower my speed so that I can take evasive maneuvers if I need to by speeding up. So now what we're going to do is close in on the target and initiate combat. Now, I encourage you to initiate combat with a missile strike because that will kind of distract the target. Doesn't matter if it's PvP or PvE, but I'm not going to use 2 missiles to do it. I'm in a Drake Buccaneer. I don't have a whole lot of missiles to begin with, so I'm just going to use 1. If I hit the target, great. If I don't, at least it's a distraction. It's something else they have to deal with. The target is now spawned in. I'm going to target it. I'm going to orientate myself so I can carry my fighter to the outside of the asteroid field because I don't want to run into anything. And I'm also going to do a little bit of a maneuver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my speed. Even though my speed indicator is still maxed out, I'm going to lower my speed and I'm going to decouple. This is going to allow me to continue to move in one direction, as you can see here, but I can get a missile lock and I'm traveling at a slight angle to the target. So now I'm going to go ahead and fire my missile. Notice that they fired a missile. I've got an incoming infrared missile. I'm going to increase my speed and I'm going to fire off my flares to try and dodge that missile. Fire off more than 1 flare, 2 or 3. With the increase in speed, you'll avoid it. If you don't increase speed and you keep going dead at the target, you're probably going to get hit. Notice here, my missile hit the target. I can tell that by the indicator right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my speed in preparation to get into a turning match and go to guns. So now I'm going to guns. I'm going to engage the target. I'm going to try to wear down those shields. So now, as I'm going to engage with guns, I've changed my power. So I have 100% going to the weapons capacitor. That's to keep my weapons firing for as long as possible. And I'm basically going to do a standard turning dogfight. Now, quick another tip here is always keep turning and maneuvering because, as you can see here, we have 3 targets total. I've got 74% boost. I'm still working on the primary target, so I'm going to engage with him until he's dead, then I'm going to switch. So we're still working our primary target, and you'll notice that I'm going to change my capacitor to equally share the load out because I want to try to get my boost back up. However, the target comes back into my gun sight, so I quickly switch back over to 100% on the weapons, because basically what you want to do is kill the target when it's in front of you. I mean, that's like a no-brainer. We are going to get a little bit of a desync issue, but the target explodes, and as you can see, I've swapped my capacitor back to an equal amount to try and get my boost replenished and my shields replenished as I go after the second target. Next target here is going to be a MISC Freelancer. I'm going to go ahead and swap my energy pool back over to 100% because they're bullet sponges, and I want to be able to take this guy out as fast as possible. Now, if you remember back at the beginning, I had you change your settings so that you would get a numerical display of your EM, IR, and cross section. And the reason for that is because in 3.14, stealth has changed around, detection has changed around, and the higher value of those three settings is going to be the distance that you get detected at. So it helps to have a numerical value displayed rather than a bar. So just keep that in the back of your mind. So we take him out. I'm going to increase my speed limiter to get a little bit of speed and try to gain some distance here while I try to get my power levels back up across the board. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. We've swapped over to equal power settings. I've gotten my boost back up. I've gotten my weapons charged up. Can't really see it, but my shields are back up to 100%. So I'm looking pretty good before I re-engage the last target. So as indicated there, we boosted up our speed a little bit to get some distance, because now what we're going to do is go into missile operator mode, and we're going to fling a couple missiles at them. We have 3 missiles left. I'm going to fire off a Rattler 2. It's not a bad missile for dogfighting. He's going to fire off one on me, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and take a second shot with another missile, despite the fact that I have incoming. I can tell that that missile is going to miss me, so I'm not too worried about it. And as you can see, I lost the target because he had his countermeasures. That was probably a noise field. So my missile is missed. I've got to wait for the noise field to clear. There it is. I've reacquired. But guess what? I've got another missile for this guy. So now I'm going to fire off my last missile. Again, that's going to give him something else to think about. And then I'm going to switch over to guns. I've given my shields and weapons and boost all fairly good amount of time here to replenish themselves. So now I'm going to swap over to 100% weapons capacitor and go in for the kill. That's basically what we're going to do. So because I've adjusted my speed limiter down and I'm in the green, I can turn better than the Saber. This allows me to get my guns on them and kill them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack my speed back up to exit out of the area, and I'm going to set my capacitor to, equal distribution across all areas to build my power reserves back up on weapons, boost, and shields. So that's pretty much going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button, the notification bell, and the subscribe so that you can see future videos as they come out. And let me know what you think. Do you like the changes in 3.14 to how combat is now going to take place in Star Citizen? A little bit of a micromanagement stuff there for 3 systems, but I don't think it's out of the question. I do like, myself, the direction that they're going. Obviously, there's some things that are rough around the edges that need to be ironed out a little bit better. But in general, just, overall, do you think CIG is going in the right direction with what they're doing with combat? Let us know, and if you got any other tips, same thing, put them in the comments section, because that way people can learn from your knowledge, not just mine. As always, till next time, take care.